She was the queen of Hollywood. He was the fiery Welshman who conquered the stage and screen. Together, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton lived one of the most passionate and tragic love stories the world has ever seen. They were married not once, but twice, fought, loved, cried, and forgave. And in the end, their hearts remained connected, even in death. Welcome to Charlie Vintage, where we explore the timeless lives of vintage legends. If you love old Hollywood, rare stories, and unforgettable moments, hit that subscribe button. Let's dive in. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't just beautiful, she was magnetic. Born in 1932 in London, she moved to the US as a child and quickly rose to fame with films like National Velvet and Cleopatra. By the age of 30, she had already won 2 Academy Awards. Known for her violet eyes, 8 marriages, and unmatched charisma, Elizabeth's name was everywhere. But behind the glamour, she carried heartbreak, insecurity, and a longing for real consuming love. And she found it in Richard Burton. Richard Burton was born in Wales in 1925, the 12th of 13 children. He grew up poor, but his commanding voice and sharp intellect set him apart. By the 1950s, he was already a respected stage actor in the UK and was making waves in Hollywood. Charismatic, witty, and known for his powerful performances, Burton was also infamous for his drinking and unpredictable behavior. But none of that stopped him from becoming one of the most sought-after actors of his generation. He met Elizabeth Taylor on the set of Cleopatra in 1962. Both were married at the time, but the attraction was instant and explosive. The media called it a scandal. Hollywood called it a disaster. But for them, it was the beginning of something unforgettable. Their affair dominated headlines worldwide. Paparazzi followed them everywhere. In 1964, they married, making them the most talked about couple in the world. Together, they starred in 11 films, including Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, which earned Elizabeth her second Oscar. Their love was passionate but chaotic. They fought fiercely but loved even more intensely. Burton once said, "You can't keep clapping a couple of sticks of dynamite together without expecting them to blow up." And that's exactly what happened. Lavish gifts became his way of expressing love, including the famous 69-carat diamond he gave her. But behind the glamour were jealousy, addiction, and constant fighting. In 1974, after 10 years of fire and fame, they divorced, leaving fans heartbroken and stunned. Even after their explosive divorce in 1974, the bond between Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton didn't fade. They continued to talk, write, and miss each other. The world was shocked when just 16 months later, they secretly remarried in 1975, this time in a quiet ceremony in Botswana. It seemed like the ultimate love story was finally getting a second chance. But love alone wasn't enough to fix what fame and fury had broken. The second marriage quickly fell into the same cycle: arguments, jealousy, drinking, and emotional distance. Despite their efforts, the same fire that drew them together once again began to burn them apart. Friends said they couldn't live with each other, but also couldn't live without one another. Richard once joked, "We simply adore each other, but we can't possibly make it work." Within just 9 months, their second marriage ended in divorce. Even so, they remained close. They sent letters, made calls, and always seemed to be in each other's orbit. The relationship may have ended on paper, but emotionally, it never truly did. It was a love too powerful, too chaotic, and too unique to ever fit neatly into a happily ever after. Richard Burton passed away unexpectedly in 1984 at the age of 58. The news shattered Elizabeth. Though they were long divorced, her grief was raw and visible. She didn't attend his funeral out of respect for his new wife, but those close to her said she mourned him like a widow. For the rest of her life, she kept his love letters safely tucked away, unread by the world, but never forgotten by her. Elizabeth Taylor lived nearly 3 more decades. In interviews, when asked about Richard, she always softened. Her voice would lower. Her eyes would drift. "Richard was the love of my life," she once said without hesitation. Their love story wasn't a fairy tale. It was real, messy, and magnetic. full of diamonds, desire, and deep scars. It defined an era of Hollywood where stars were untouchable, yet their emotions were painfully human. Together, they made the world believe in wild love. And even in the end, when all the cameras were gone, their story echoed louder than ever. Thank you for watching Charlie Vintage, where timeless love stories never fade. Elizabeth and Richard showed us that even the brightest stars can burn too fiercely. If you cherish the golden age of Hollywood and the legends who defined it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us as we bring vintage icons back to life.